and welcome to another webisode of my story. So, I was talking about right before it was time for me to pick my girls up from Zach's house for their first month-long visitation with their father. And I was talking about how a couple days before it was time to pick them up, I just had a really bad sinking feeling. And I had talked to my daughter on the phone, and she just wanted me to come get her. I want to make it clear that at this time, I was not thinking that something bad had happened necessarily. As a child, I grew up, the first 5 years of my life, I was going between 3 households, and 2 of those households were changing constantly. And I had no stability. And my dad was a good guy. My dad has a lot of love in his heart. And my mom is a good girl. She has a lot of love in her heart. But whenever I was with them, I would have this sinking feeling within me. And it was always the first couple days, the first couple nights at my mom's house and the first couple nights at my dad's house. At my grandmother's house, I felt, finally, it was the only stability that I felt I had, and it was like I wasn't allowed to be there. I wasn't allowed to have my stability. But at my dad's house and my mom's house, I would have this sinking feeling, and I'd have to overcome that. I didn't understand as a child why I was feeling this way, and I was trying to navigate my new surroundings with that sinking feeling. That's what I wanted to avoid with my girls, but I knew that it was inevitable. So whenever I got that feeling, that's what I was thinking that it was that my daughters, because the way that I had set it up, I got the first weekend and then I got the last weekend. And I got them in the middle for one day, but not the full weekend. Because I wanted it to be that way because, I wanted to make sure that they were doing good at the beginning. And then at the end was my youngest daughter's birthday. So I thought if I had them for the last weekend, I could do a big birthday party with all my friends and family, with my youngest daughter turning 1, and or no, I think she was turning 2. But yeah, she was turning 2, and we can have the party, and then we can just head home because I've got a new job to start at Tessa Corp, and I'm so excited. So I just thought that it would be convenient for everyone. And so, there was that one at my friend's in Spring City, her daughter's birthday party. So, yeah. Anyway, so I called my daughters. I figured that sinking feeling was just because they didn't understand. They never had been away from me that long, and they didn't understand what was going on. And to them, they don't know that in just a couple days, I'm going to be back. Us creatures, really. I want to say humans, but honestly, plants, animals, minerals, creatures. All alive things, which is everything. Really, we get set in new habits, right? I knew that they had been there for 2 weeks straight, and that new habit was setting in, and they might have this feeling of dread because they don't understand it and they don't realize that they are going to be coming back, or maybe the idea of transitioning again is scary. That's how it was for me. It was scary to go to my dad's, and then it was scary to leave my dad's, and it was scary to go to my mom's, and it was scary to leave my mom's. Like, both ends of the stick was very scary for me as a child, so I expected that's what they're going through, and I'm hoping to help them process through that. One thing that I love about, I don't think that there's anything wrong with adoption at all, but one thing that I love about having your own biological children is the issues and the problems that they have are issues and problems that you're used to dealing with in your family. And so it's really easy to help your children navigate those things and help us to overcome certain familial issues so that we can rise. So I that's one thing I love about having your own children. And so I just felt like I could relate and I was going to help them. I was preparing to help them with this transition. So it's time to go pick them up. And I go to pick the girls up and they're happy to see me, and they go get in the van like right away, and I'm like, whoa, we gotta load things up and everything. I'm like, where's the rats? And Zach's like, oh, the rats, they got set free. The girls took them out of their cage and they were set free. I was like, oh, okay. And I was getting their stuff, their tablets and toys and teaching materials, and the stuff that I had brought with them, and he made sure that it was only that stuff. He didn't want to give them none of the stuff that he gifted them during that time, and they were just like ready to go. And it's like, okay, so I get in the car and we take off, and I go and I pick up my cousin because we're going to my daughter's birthday party. And so I pick up my cousin, and we're heading out towards to go to the birthday party. And the girls, they want to tell you about how things went and how are they gonna make this up? Anyway, they, on the way home, they said, Daddy Zach, because they would call him Daddy Zach. They had Daddy Dave and Daddy Zach. Daddy Zach took Hardy's head off. And when he took Hardy's head off, his blood went. But when he took Lover's head off, the blood just went. I'm driving, I'm trying to process what they're telling me. They're explaining to me about the rats being killed and the process, like they're like, this is what we learned. And I'm just in shock. I mean, part of the reason that you want to get your kids pets, I mean, not always, but one of the reasons is to teach them about death. And this is it. You want to teach them about the natural process of death. You don't want to teach them how to kill or killing or murder with pets. That's different. And that's why I was so appalled, because for me, to teach kids about death is to get a pet, to love the pet, to care for the pet, and the pet dies. It's inevitably going to die during the child's childhood, and you discuss the natural process of death with the child. I couldn't believe it. And my cousin was like, I was like, yeah. So we go to the birthday party, and I brush that off. I'm like, whatever, we're just gonna go to the birthday party. We go to the birthday party, and I start setting up everything. Family starts showing up. We're having a party. We have cake. We have ice cream, punch. I make the best party punch. And so we had plenty of punch, and we were opening the gifts and everything, and we start doing the party games. And while we're doing the party games, I'm like sitting on the steps with my stepmother. She's like right there. And my oldest daughter comes and whispers in my ear, "Daddy Zach, touch my hoo-ha." Basically, I had always taught my daughters to tell me, their private spots, and that those are their private spots and they're not to be touched and stuff, and to tell me if anyone does. And I was always taught that nobody ever did touch it, and I just figured that's what you teach kids, and so that's what I taught my kids. And she told me, and I was in even more shock. And I go into the living room, and I wasn't quite sure what to do. And I was sitting there, and she tells me again, and I was like, okay, I heard you, and it'll be okay. And my other daughter, she comes over there, and she's basically telling me, she's like, did you know that boys' pee-pees and girl pee-pees are different, and that boy pee-pees are long and they're like a finger? And I'm like, what am I hearing? So I wasn't sure. So I call my mother who was in the other state, and because she has a psychology degree and she knows this stuff. And I call her, and she says, just separate your daughter from everyone else, take her into a room, and ask her questions about it. Like first ask her a serious question about it, and then ask her silly questions. Ask her like really stupid questions, like, oh, okay, well, did he touch your elbow too? Or did he touch your knee? And stuff like that, and see how she reacts and call me back. And so I do. I go and I ask her, and I was serious at first, and she's like, yes, yes. And then I was silly, and then she just gets upset, and she's like, you don't believe me, do you? And she's just like, whatever. And so I call my mom, and I tell her what her reaction was, and that basically now she's over in the corner sulking. And my mom said it happened. Take her to the hospital now. I was like, what? She goes, take her to the hospital now and tell them that she had been molested and that you need a rape kit done. Guys, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. And so I call my best friend Jerica. I tell her, she's like, I'll meet you at the hospital. I'm like, okay. I tell my cousin, because my cousin was riding with me at the party and everything. My cousin's like, yeah, let's go. Come on. Gotta go. And I'm calling Zach. He's not answering. I'm calling him. There's got to be an explanation. There's some sort of explanation. This is not what's happening. This is not what's happening. I would take any excuse. Like if he would have answered the phone and been like, oh my gosh, no, it's just that there was accidents and, potty training or, something like that. Which he did tell me whenever I picked up the girls. He said, I don't know what's wrong with them. They do not use the toilet at all. Which my house, they did. They used it so well. They were so wonderful. I was so blessed. But he said no, they would use the hall. They would use anywhere but the toilet for number 1 or 2. And I was like, what? And so, I mean, if he would have, I would have taken any excuse, you guys. Anything. He would not answer his phone at all. And I was heading to the hospital. Alright, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. This is not easy. I might put a trigger warning on this one. But this is my story. It's how it happened to me. Alright, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. It's a fictional story. It's not real. It's not real. I'm not trying to get revenge. It's not real. Alright. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. As always, be blessed with love. That's all. Wait a minute. No, that's not all she got. She got a little bit to say just here at the end. So hold on, folks. I just want to say really, really quick, I've got an exciting opportunity to share with you. As a student and a content creator, I pour my heart and my soul into each and every video. And I absolutely love bringing you all along on my crazy adventures. But you know, creating quality content requires a lot of time, effort, and resources. But that's where you can come in. If you enjoy my videos and want to share your support, I've set up a few ways for you to contribute and become an even more integral part of the Mystic Hillbilly community. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me to continue doing what I love most. First of all, I have a few donation options available to you. If you'd like to make a one-time contribution, you can find the links to my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal in the video descriptions. And every single donation, no matter how big or small, truly makes a difference and allows me to create even more exciting content for you all. But wait, there's more. I'm thrilled to introduce to you my Patreon membership, where for only $5.55 a month, you can gain access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content and outtakes from all my videos. As a Patreon supporter, you'll get to see all the edits and behind-the-scenes bloopers that didn't make it in the final cut. It's like having a VIP pass to the Mystic Hillbilly editing room. This is really something special for all my haters out there. As a member, you'll gain access to hours of footage of me making mistakes, doing everything wrong, and just having an all-around hilarious time. So, haters, if you ever want to see me in my most human, this is your golden opportunity. So, whether you choose to become a member or make a donation, know that your support is deeply appreciated. I genuinely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this amazing journey with me. Your positive energy and contributions mean everything to me. Before I go, I just want to take a moment to say that I pray that every blessing sent my way is multiplied and returned to the sender tenfold. May success find their way into your lives as you've brought them into mine. Thank you all so much for your support, and until next time, stay adventurous, stay curious, and always remember to keep the mystic in you alive. And now, that's all she got.